Right, so we got it done. I couldn't find a video on YouTube anywhere that showed how to change the pulleys, not the belt, the pulleys on a little 2 litre in an A6. Now there was plenty of videos for 10s, year 10 or 9s and before, but nothing for 11, 12s and onwards. The biggest problem that I had was room. There ain't none. There is no room. Not so much belt side. We all know that we all know that belt side there's no room. It's getting the bolt for the tensioner. She's deep. It is deep in there, and you got to put a deep 13 on it, and then find your way in with a wrench, and then just stand there twiddling the wrench for however long the 9-yard bolt is, and eventually the tension will drop out the front. Some of them stick, but this one just dropped out. The idler pulley, piece of cake, just get under there with an Allen key. I can't remember what size it was, 5 or a 6 or something, I can't remember. That's really easy, but you will not see the bolt for the tensioner. You've got to get your 13mm deep in through the hole. You got the crank case there, and then you got a little bit of webbing that comes off it, and there's a hole in it, and you put your 13mm through it, and it goes onto the back of the fastener. Then somehow, between all the cooling pipes and the AC pipes and the what else have we got in there? Well, the wiring, obviously. Get your wrench in, stick that on the end, and then just really small movements. You want a fine tooth ratchet, and it just backs its way out. The routing, I think that's the same. It goes round the crank, under the tensioner, over the alternator, under the idler, over the power steering, and back round to the crank again, round the aircon if you've got it. That's a piece of cake. But like I said, finding the tensioner, I was in it, I was under it, I was on top of it, I was round it, but it's all there. Anyway, it was that was squealing, as we know. So I'll fire the old guard up. Oh, keys are in my pocket. Can I say giving it a wash? She's had a wash and all. Looks good, doesn't it? Nice and quiet now. Even right up against it, she's nice and quiet. See the tensioner down there jiggling about? No noise. Happy as a Larry. So yeah, no videos I could find. That's why, I don't normally do this sort of thing, but that's why I'm going to put this on, because I couldn't find any videos for this year. As I said, 13mm, comes out the back of the tensioner. Hell of a job getting in there. Easy to do, once you're on it and you just start wiggling it, but it's getting in there, getting on the back of the fastener with your wrench. You won't be able to put the wrench and the socket in there. Put your socket on, put your wrench on the back of it, and then just try and work your way through the wires and the hoses to wind it out. And then that drops out the front. I didn't have to take any of this off, because it's tight enough as it is. And you ain't going to get past this, the socket and the resistor ballast and all the rest of it for the fans, so just leave all that on. Take that off, obviously. And then the bottom idler, piece of cake, Allen key, twizzle it out, and then the routing is, let's go, because what I like to do is put the tension on the tensioner and then take it off from the alternator. I always find it taking it off and putting it on at the alternator is best. So line your belt up, crank, AC, power steering, under your idler, over your alternator, under your tensioner, and then that'll go back round your crank again. Always try and fight it at your alternator where it's closest to you. It don't really have to go underneath, I don't think, other unless your belt drops off. But you don't really have to go underneath it. It can all be done from the top. I hope it helps someone. If you need any more information, just give a little comment on a doobly-doo and I'll give you a bit more finer detail. I might even put a diagram of the belt routing on there as well. But she is done.